There we go. Okay. Oh boy. Turn the music on and lower the volume a little bit. There we go. Okay. I think this is looking okay. Alright, now I need a template. I forgot to open up my template.
Not that I'm.
If anything, I also have been thinking of what on another kind of streaming project I'm planning to do in the near future, where I get to actually create a poll and fill in some inquiries for for the people to put in, like what the body type of the character would, like design a character, but let the audience also design, you know.
Parts.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Where's the template? Yeah, there it is. Oh, Bamu's Convulsion. Hi, welcome to the inn. How's it, everybody? Welcome into the Paper Plane Inn. It's me, Nui McKeeling, and thank you all for actually joining in for today's session. And today is going to be where I'm going to be doing the first batch of my mutuals that I'm going to be designing for the Palace of Plushies line. Basically, I turn most of my friends into marketable plushies. We have done plenty in the past, and now it's time for me to work on the mutuals that I have over the years.
I can't stop her. Someone call for reinforcements.
No. You didn't say it. You don't have anything to say about this.
I tried. You hit me over the head with a fan.
Hi, Man of Mercy. From a lackluster Gamescom, trying to... Right to... You made it in time for today's stream. Alright. As for the first of our, just so you know, I'm gonna eat whatever key you give me. Now let's see.
Those are hard to replace.
Indeed. Creating keys for the inn is not easy. I just realized I forgot to turn on the notifications that I'm now streaming in Twitch, in Twitter.
Uber.
This is an easy fix. I can easily make this work. I can fix this. And one more from Riser's stream. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now let me turn on the sketch. Now, given that we have just started doing the mutuals, our first peep/victim and all this is we're gonna be doing something a little off track, if you will. Let's see. Ah, there you are. Our first peep who's gonna be plushified, if you will. Oh gosh. Is good old bearded doom guy Joey himself. Once upon a time, he used to have a normal stand-in, but given that he decided to have this for his stand-in, I think I'm gonna be in for one hell of a challenge. But given that I've managed to design abstract plushies like bios, dillies, all that jazz, I can make this work. I think. God have mercy on my soul.
I will do what I can for damage control on your psyche later.
Okay, it's set to my pens? Alright. Alright, showtime. Given that he has Given that he designed, I think it's his head is the one thing I'm gonna be I'm a little bit worried the most, but I'll see if I can pull it off as best as I can. I didn't get to install many stuff when it comes to the inn, but bit by bit, I'm making some new changes. But if there's one, I mean, it'll be very noticeable if we actually got ourselves a new follower into the inn. By the way, I've been meaning to ask, how are you all? How's everyone's day been doing?
I am tired.
Long day.
It's gonna be even longer.
You gonna be okay though?
I will do my best.
Okay, given that he basically used a Doom Guy's helmet for this one, I think I'm gonna have to wing it with what I got. Somewhat. Maybe. I don't know. I can pull this off, I think. But something tells me I'm gonna have to give him the classic. I think I may have to do something a little bit different when it comes to his hands.
So to specify how my day went, my SD drive that was attached to my phone decided to start acting up. And after about an hour or so of frustration, eventually attempting to update the phone and then shutting the phone off to remove and reinsert the SD card. I found a little bit of plastic shaving hanging loose from the SIM card, removed that, reinserted both the SIM card and the SD card. And it turned out that my SIM card hadn't been properly working for the previous day either, so thankfully those are both functional again.
I was gonna ask, how did the plastic shaving get there? Also, hi there, Danny Lockhart. Welcome back to the inn.
Hello again, Danny. That shaving seems to have come off of the SIM card. I can only imagine after years of use, it was slowly ground off.
Oof.
I mean, it could have been far worse. It was an inconvenience rather than an entire failure of the phone. So my phone's back in working order, and I consider that to be a blessing of some sort.
Fighting a Lagombi at the moment? Oh, you're doing Monster Hunter Rise, Danny Lockhart? Vibing with Keebs, occasionally petting Max. Ah, is he being such a sweet boy? Is he being such a sweetheart?
Wait a minute, who's fighting the Gombi?
Danny Lockhart. Oh no, wait. In GU, not Rise.
Meanwhile, I'm jumping between playing flight simulators and trying to get the remaining achievements in the Spider-Man PC release.
Oh yeah, how's that thing been treating you?
Surprisingly well, all things considered. It's probably the best PC port I've played in a long time. Like actual functioning mouse functions in the menu. It performs well on PCs. Even my old 1070, the only thing I had to do was update my driver. I have encountered a couple of cases of audio glitching where the audio gets progressively worse, but that only seems to happen if I play for... Well, basically I was binge playing over the weekend that I bought it, so it took several hours to start appearing, and then I just had to restart the game to fix it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go for little fixes here and there. And
Also, my only problem I have with the game is that I'm also extremely picky about the Spider-Man costumes, and the game has its own very specific Spider-Man outfit. But as somebody who watched the cartoon growing up in the '90s, it's almost mandatory to basically for me to play with variants of that one.
really?
Yeah, I pretty much refuse to wear anything but the original red and white costume, with the exceptions for like there's a cartoon cel shaded version of it as well in game.
What about, is there any Venom costumes in the game?
There is actually a
No.
symbiote Spider-Man costume hidden in the files, but it's not available without modding.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand, and from the teaser, the Spider-Man sequel is getting Venom. Although there's also still I still have to bring the Miles Morales PC release out as well, so...
Isn't bad enough to say I actually like Venom?
Venom's a fun character in his own right. And that's even before he got his own movie without Spider-Man being involved.
I like that movie.
It was a good movie.
Would
But
definitely watch it.
like... Sorry.
No, it's okay.
And what I was going to say, even as a Spider-Man specific villain, Venom was a lot of fun.
Let's see. Presently I've been mainly doing Warframe, preparing for the Steel Pass. Still need to get certain mods before I set forth into the new war. I haven't played Warframe in 6 million years. How much have they changed the game?
Like, look at it this way. All my builds that used to melt shit
Uh-huh.
now are all but moot.
Aww.
Kind of sounds like what's happened with Xenoverse 2, where they basically keep stacking higher and higher new levels, and if you want to get new stuff, you have to basically go through all of them one by one and purchase the DLCs for them in order to get there.
Well, that's bullshit.
Oh, it's effective. Well, not on me, admittedly, but that's because I kind of gave up on a lot of DLC stuff.
For me, I kind of have a love-hate relationship when it comes to DLCs, when it comes to, well, specific games. But the crowning example would be Sims 4, you know?
I miss the old days of either expansion packs or standalone expansion packs. But like the Spider-Man Miles Morales that I mentioned earlier is an example of a standalone expansion pack. You don't need to buy the base game to play it, at least not on PlayStation.
Alright, let's fix some vector lines. I don't know what the flying monkey butt am I doing, but I think I'll pull something off. Because from the way that Doom guy presents his stand-in, let's just say that he's using, from what I can see, he's using a lot of cables and wires in order to make it stand out. And, well, this is going to be a little bit of a treat of a challenge, but I'm trying my best to make it work.
Mm-hmm. Although, when it comes to DLC, my biggest gripe is always microtransactions and boosters.
Let's
Because
see.
then the game ends up being designed around them, which is incredibly irritating.
The Sims 4 expansion packs are something. Oh yeah, they definitely are something. I kind of have a love-hate relationship when it comes to The Sims 4. Wait, what am I doing? I really have a love-hate relationship when it comes to The Sims 4. because the game... Oh, hey, Joey! Because I do enjoy the game when I had the chance, and all of a sudden I can't seem to, well, get it to play anymore. Maybe it's because there's one mod that I have that's been interfering with how it's running, but it's annoying and I can't figure out which one was it. I've been thinking about reinstalling all the mods I have on hand all the way from scratch and start all the way back to the beginning. But on the other hand, well, if there's anything I really do like about The Sims 4, it's the mods themselves, because once you mod, you can't really go back.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. How many of you actually played a game with mods that really tickled your fancy?
Well, I mean, I'm an Arma 3 player, so I'm kind of guilty of that by association.
I mean, that's also my case too when it comes to Sims 4. Cause the one thing that actually sold me into Sims 4 is, well, one very particular mod that I can't say its name, because this is not Picarto, and you know it's
The Fun and Games mod, we'll call it that.
yeah, and it's kind of like that one kind of wish oh no, please don't die on me. Okay, there we go. It's kind of like I really wanted to have play this kind of mod since I was younger, because part of me wants to say, can Sims actually do this specific function? And when I was growing up, I was also growing through puberty, so yeah. So imagine my surprise when somebody made the let's see, Extreme Twister mod. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna call that. So when somebody had made a mod that is the Extreme Twister mod, it's like... Shut up, Joey! Shut up! Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
What do you say? What do you say?
See for yourself.
Let me actually go into Discord. This is going to cause an echo effect in my ears, but I don't care. I need to see this.
You have to quickly mute it if you can, or some shite. Let's see. Sims 4 mods tend to break the updates if you let the game update and the mods. Yeah, that's what it does. And
yeah, I got that problem with Kerbal Sit-based program as well. Or I had that problem, then I stopped playing Kerbal because fuck Take-Two.
Damn it, I missed it. Oh well. In any case, I need to get going here because I need to get back to work.
Aww.
Trust me, hon, I'd stay if I could, but
at least have a safe drive home when it's time, okay?
I will try. Love you.
Love you too.
Have a good one, Steve.
You too, Sean.
But yeah, I found that one particular mod, and I finally craved that. It had finally scratched that one curiosity that that child me used to have back then, and yeah. But just like what Bemuse's convolution said, just like what Cal said, sometimes Sims 4 is kind of notorious that whenever it has new updates, some of the old mods tend to break the game, and that really just bummed me the fuck out. And now I can't really play Sims 4 because I don't know which mod that I currently have that's, causing the breakage.
Yeah, I can definitely empathize with that.
Because, well, Miki doesn't only use mods for seeing Sims play Extreme Twister. She also uses that to actually, design houses too, because, I want to design the paper plane in, and sometimes I gotta do it by myself, and that one particular game that is in Steam, which is like a house builder of sorts. It's nice, but it's lacking in certain areas, so it's not so very nice. And Sims 4 made me feel, you know. Okay, now it's time for the lines. You can find Sims. Yes.
I could say pretty much the same thing about Kerbal Space Program, in that various rockets and plane parts were sort of necessary for me, and in order for me to fix it, I would have to go through every single mod that I had installed in order to find out which one was broken.
Oof. Okay. You can try find Sims 2 on some archival websites, and there are plenty of Twister mods for it too. So if you want to scratch that itch, please, I'll consider it.
Sims 2, we actually had that on disc back in the day. In fact, we had the original Sims on disc too.
Okay. Now I need to. I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off, but I need to actually. I wonder if I have a brush that could actually make me give off the illusion of the cable lines and bunch, because this will be painful without it. This will be. Okay, fingers crossed. I think I found one. Or not. Okay, or not. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Okay. That's oh no. No, I think I can pull it off. Okay. Okay.
So far, so good.
It is. Now, let me see what happens if I try putting that in multiply. Oh. Well, that's not so bad. I think it's pretty okay. Okay. I think I can pull this off. I mean, I've tackled worse. I mean, I've tackled Shad's commission, so yeah, I can try to pull this off. It's just that my methods are a little bit different.
He'll come through.
Eh. I really can't wait to actually work on another art stream project that, well, is something I could actually see myself doing from every once or a couple of times a month. Well,
Oh yeah.
That I create a poll for my followers and bunch. Hey there, Jamie. Welcome to the inn. Where I create a poll for my followers and bunch that they get to pick out options for a character design that they chose. Let's see.
Hello, Casey.
I'm just popping in for a short while. I got back from class, which I had to wake up early for today, so I'm feeling kind of tired.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah.
You gonna be alright though?
Yeah, I am. There's also like the real life stuff having to account for too, but I'll be okay.
I'm doing alright. I'm currently working on the first person for the Palace the Plushie project I'm doing, and it's mutual. It's the mutual batch this time around. Friends that I do have, but not really part of the core. Who are not friends who are not present in the Paper Plane Inn, but they are still my friends regardless.
I see.
Why? What's wrong?
No, maybe it's just me being tired. Sorry, I had to wake up pretty early today.
In a sense, I can't understand how you're feeling.
Yeah, but it was kind of on me. Like I kind of like made myself stay up too late. But we can always talk about more about that later.
Okay.
How about you, Sherm? How you doing?
Doing all right. Just gotta get 3 more fillings in.
Oh, you're having those done too, huh?
Yeah, not fun.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like even, I think thankfully well, first before I talk about that for a second, looking at chat, Doom Guy, I agree, it can be, but I am making progress. And, however, I will admit that school has been the one obstacle for my content creation, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
anyways,
feel
like
it.
I agree about how fillings they can be unpleasant. Like even though my dentist does like a great job of like numbing the area, I'd say the only real part that can actually kind of border on being a little bit painful is when they're actually about to do the filling, and I don't know if it's the same on your end, but they stick some kind of metal bracket, and sometimes it can kind of poke you.
No, that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the cost of this damn thing.
Oh right, because like okay, it's because I'm able to be covered by it over here by some program our state has, but yeah, I totally get you.
For me, it's a thing of it's not enough for me to bother claiming insurance. I don't think. So it's just enough to punch me in the wallet, but not enough to bother covering.
Right.
Okay, now time for shading.
It won't do anything long term, but I don't like having to, even if it is for good reason. Spending large amounts of money is less than ideal.
Let's see. Will my commission be counted among that list, or is that going to be separate? I'm actually on the fence on that one, because I have been considering on doing a House of Plushies commission edition, but you're also one of my friends too, and yeah, this is also among the many things that, this is also a very hard debate whether or not should I actually be like, is he gonna be in the mutuals? Or should I put him also in the commissions? Should I wait a little bit longer and figure something out?
I'll be back for a bit.
Dewey,
Alright.
it says Joey. Yeah, why not? But most likely, so tune in next week and I'll most likely do your plushie for the next Pals to Plushies. Okay, onto the neck area because that's how I go for my shading. Okay, and I think Joey's is about done. Hold on.
Oh, nice.
I'm back.
I'll come back.
There we go. Alright, and Joey's, the first of the mutual plushies, is finished. Alright, now let's go and save that there. Thank you so very much if you find it very cute.
Definitely seems like you've had fun making these, and it's nice seeing the variety.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Beer get here, guy. Fingers, a sandwich. I got the pen curly in my mouth.
I was about to ask whether you had a pencil in your mouth or something, but yeah.
A noodle ready to cause chaos. Alright. Now that's one plush down. Duplicate. Ah! Now then, who's ready to be next? Is it weird that I name my Kinsect Oracle? No, it's not Danny Lockhart. In fact, that's a cute name. I mean...
Monster Hunter thing, or... I'm just wondering, I don't know what the Kinsect is.
Monster Hunter thing. It's just that, I kind of based the idea for Nessa when it comes to the Monster Hunter D&D game. Her Kinsect's name is Mochi because she used to she was born and raised in Komura, despite her parents actually came from lands elsewhere outside of Komura, but they are welcome with open arms regardless.
Komura spelled with a K? I'm just wondering because...
spelled with a K because, yeah. Nessa comes...
I was just going to say... Oh, sorry, you first.
No, my guy. It's okay.
Like, I was just going to say, like, like, it feels weird that I know that word is associated with gangsters thanks to reading a certain fanfic.
Alright, now then,
So.
who is going to be the next bottom bitch of my plushies?
Right, I was just saying about, like, how it's interesting knowing one of those words that, like, has the same pronunciation as another word, but also means something different. But then again, like, I'm guessing Monster Hunter Komura things they're from an Eastern development standpoint, so it's just a coincidence.
It is. My mother told me you are it. Now it's time for me to work on Cal's commission. I mean, not commission, plushie. Get. I'm doing this for free for everybody, for freebies for everybody, for my peeps.
Right.
Now it is a cool one. Cal is
Yeah,
actually
design looks nice. Oh,
Cal is actually one of the best artists that I've known. Even though hers take a little bit longer than mine, it's just that she has a way in paying attention to details to make it work. I think the bottom line is the bottom line is that, well, her art is very, very lovely. It's a compliment, Cal. I meant what I said. It's a compliment.
she's in the chat, or?
She's in the chat.
Ah, hey.
Let's see. Yeah, focusing on Oracle's powers IV at the moment, but hoping to evolve Oracle into a balanced Kinsect. That's not nice. Who? Horace?
That would be Morris, yeah. I think after this one, I'll probably take a load off because I am feeling a little bit sleepy.
You might need to get
Alright.
some rest. In fact,
I got
am
water. I'm good.
Okay.
Sorry, you were saying?
Don't call me out like this on stream. But I meant what I said. It's very beautiful, Cal. Hey, from what I'm seeing here, this is good art. That references a ton of detail. See, even Dojami said that your art is beautiful.
And just remember, like, actually, never mind, because I just wanted to make a joke about how I commissioned Rex and Pyra one time, and we both underestimated how, what's the right word I'm looking for? Excruciating it would be to, like, draw a Xenoblade character, and that was your first outing at it, no less.
You have no idea.
I still like to apologize for that, because, like, I love the game and all that, but, like, maybe, I guess I should have probably thought twice on how Xenoblade designs are inherently complex and detailed.
Well,
So anyways, did you have more to say on, like, how I'm planning to get a bit of rest after this?
I'm gonna say, I was gonna say, here's the key to your room, and in case if you want to go to bed, I am not afraid to push you to the door that'll lead you to your room upstairs.
Right, so I just thought you had, like, more resting advice. That's all.
Well, some tea could actually help you relax, and actually help take away the stress that you're accumulating.
That's the funny part. I'm not usually much of a tea guy.
No?
No, not really. Except when it's cold most of the time.
Can't say I blame you. I mean, cold tea is
You don't like
actually
tomatoes for one? Oh,
cold tea is actually pretty delicious.
yeah. I was just going off of like a taste thing because it like, I guess like it's not probably the first time I've heard someone surprised I don't like all that. I'm not really big on tea.
Yeah, it's
There
something
was
of an acquired taste.
Yeah. There was one tea blend I actually did not mind back when I was recovering from COVID that my mom like knew how to make. It was like
Yeah?
something. It was. I know mango was part of the blend, but I forget what else was in there. But yeah, I actually I didn't tweet much about it, but like I actually did end up having to put up with COVID somehow like last month, and it wasn't fun because not only was I basically confined in my room, I did not have the energy to work on my stuff at the time, so it sucks, even if you are vaccinated.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that though. I may not have contracted COVID, but I know what it's like to be sick enough that it's a
Yeah.
hindrance.
Oh yeah.
Boy. Oh boy, you will not believe what happened yesterday.
Dojimi said that he recommends peach herbal tea. It's delicious.
I think it was peach and mango. I think I'll have to ask my mom again whenever I can.
I also like peach tea. It's also sweet and delicious too.
Oh boy.
Well, I guess now I know what to particularly request cold, or probably cold. I don't know. I'll see how it is, I guess.
And if Steve were here, he would also recommend like southern sweet tea that could actually help you. That could actually be very good for taste wise.
All right.
And speaking of tea, about a couple of days ago, when Steve and I are out in the river walk, he and I managed to stop by into the mall that is the River Center Mall that is nearby, and we decided to take a look on a particular place that caught our attention. That is the Tea and Spice store, I think. And it is there that I actually got myself a couple of tea bags of pomegranate green tea. And that stuff is delicious when it's cold and it's paired with cane sugar.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
On the subject of food, like I'm actually curious because like this is something that I think should be relatively easy to try. But has anyone here tried a shawarma before?
The name sounds familiar.
No.
It's basically a wrap containing either chicken, beef, or even lamb,
Nope.
and with some vegetables and hummus mixed. Okay.
Sounds good, but I haven't tried it myself.
I recommend it. It's really nice.
Oh boy, you will not believe what happened. What happened yesterday?
Hmm?
And So I signed myself up for Dolly 2 just for experimentation purposes and perhaps some aid to give visual aids to artists. And well, yesterday I ended up getting granted access to the thing. And well, I've been having a little bit of fun. A little bit, but still.
Okay, let's see. I need to design her book. That is right there. But I have a feeling I may have to do this in a whole different layer. I may not get all of the details, but just enough that you can still distinguish her that is in the plushie. Meaning that I won't be able to put in her sword that is on her leg. Sorry, Cal.
If this were an actual plushie, I could actually imagine it being like a couple of pieces of felt.
I always wanted to give myself let's see. Me and my aunt had to deal with COVID through our bodies and fought it off better than we kept ourselves busy. Well, that's good. But is it bad enough for me to say I still feel a level of fear whenever one of my friends or loved ones got COVID, yours included, or such? You know, I don't know.
I mean, that's fine. Like, it's at least you're showing concern. I think that's definitely a noble and good thing.
It makes sense. Definitely,
Yeah.
the older generations are much more susceptible to COVID.
And not to mention that. Oh, sorry. Did you want to finish or?
Yeah, I was gonna say my grandmother got hit remarkably hard by COVID prior to her getting the vaccination, whereas my grandfather barely noticed it.
It's just that.
Right.
Oh no, you go.
Is it? I was just going to say, is it because of like how COVID has the potential to leave long-term side effects on people?
Oh no, this was short COVID that I'm talking about. It basically almost killed her.
I see.
She doesn't seem to have suffered long-term COVID.
Thankfully, neither did I. Like,
yet.
the worst thing I felt during my COVID was actually I didn't lose my taste or anything, but what I did have was like a really bad sore throat that made it hurt to swallow so much it actually fucked up my sleep. So
I've had that, thankfully not from COVID, but regular flus.
But well,
my father, on the other hand, has lost his sense of taste. It seems
did it come back for him, or?
Well, it's not that he lost it entirely, but his sense of taste has been off ever since.
Oh man.
Does that look pretty okay, or is it just my imagination? Though.
It looks alright to me.
Yes, that's 20.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
And I'll just share one of the results I got from the Dolly 2 thing.
It's just that going back into a little bit in the topic, when I heard back about few weeks ago, no, not few weeks, almost a month or two ago, when I heard the news that my sister had caught COVID, I can't help but feel heavily concerned for her, especially about a week or two later that my mother also contracted it too. It's just that we don't know how she caught it, and we're suspecting it, and they suspect it's one of the residents who did. But the thing is that resident doesn't have much visitors who came by and visited her. So even we are baffled how she got it in the first place.
She's recovered by now, right? I can't believe I haven't kept up on that.
Yeah, she recovered. She's
All
okay now and went back to work.
That's good.
But during the time when she was stuck in home quarantine, I managed to help mitigate that we managed to watch Berserk together.
I see.
And it's kind of thanks to that I finally understood why people actually love Berserk.
I have
Alright.
yet to watch it myself, so if you have to show me at some point.
Me neither, and I've already got a handful of things that are on my backlog already. Like, I could probably read it off right now by just looking at my phone's notes. Like, just a few examples. And then there's obviously how I have no idea when I'll get to those either because of, like, school and also content creation, but other stuff that, like, is on the table for me to try and finish are the second season of Konosuba, Agretsuko, MHA, and yeah, there's that's only I only said like 4 of them, and there's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total on my I will try this eventually list.
I mean,
Yeah, I have a relatively small list in anime, thankfully. It's basically just been Konosuba, My Hero Academia, and JoJo.
I'm finally all caught up with Part 8, by the way, so I can finally freely browse any media pertaining to the main 8 parts.
I'm still at part 5.
Yeah, Dave and I are in the middle of watching part 5, and we need to do more of that in the future, should we?
You guys watching dub or sub?
Dub.
I'm not here to start an argument about that, but I was just curious, but alright.
Yeah, I've only seen the sub of My Hero Academia because, well, 2 reasons. One, Funimation. 2, I ain't paying for that shit.
I think, like, some websites that, like, host, like, the apps, like, they do have the dub available. I'm just not sure if I can actually name drop any on Twitch for the sake of being cautious.
Yeah, don't name drop piracy, preferably.
Yeah.
Especially on my channel, since I just started to getting the swing of things when it comes to streaming, piece by piece, but you know. And
Anyways, but like, oh.
No, you go. Sorry.
Yeah, like, I guess I just inherently have a preference for dubs because, like, when I was a kid, we had, like, VHSs of the Pokemon anime, and I think one of them actually was the very episode, that VHS had that very episode with a certain food change in the anime.
Sorry, what?
Is it the
Jelly-filled donuts.
Ah.
Yes.
Let's see. Guts is the OG Dark Knight. Yeah, I finally understood now why people actually refer Guts as a bit of the OG Dark Knight. Okay. I think we're looking pretty good in terms of the line art. Now it's time for me to get to coloring.
I guess just to finish up on my sub and dub talk, like, back when I first watched JoJo, like, it was before, like, I think only parts 1 and 2 had been dubbed at the time, but we didn't look hard enough on where to find a dub, so I watched most of it subbed, and then later I basically rewatched the dub by getting some other friends into it, and, but like, I guess like I said, I've always generally preferred dubs, but if there's definitely one type of anime where I will definitely try to watch dubbed, it's the comedy ones, because like Pop Team Epic or Konosuba or even Penny and Stocking, because like, it's definitely those types of animes where I'd rather hear the jokes than read them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, don't forget the BS going on with Discovery and Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that's right.
What's going on?
Really
HBO Max is suddenly pulling a lot of shit, and they're essentially making them borderline lost media.
Which is not very nice at all, because
Yeah.
lately I'm starting to get a little bit more curious into watching, lately I'm getting a little bit curious, and I'm slowly wanted to watch Infinity Train, but given that they're doing this, and I'm now kind of hesitant, and where am I going to find that series?
I'll just DM you the one example that, like I previously mentioned, not wanting to name drop.
Here we go. It's starting to come together, piece by piece.
So in the TV chat, there's a couple of my Doll E2 renders.
Now then.
Yeah, I haven't watched Cartoon Network in God knows how long.
I kind of...
Ditto.
I haven't seen Cartoon Network for such a long ass time either.
The closest thing to Cartoon Network I've watched in ages was the Adult Swim continuation of Samurai Jack, and that's not even Cartoon Network anymore.
Can we
Yeah,
just... Can we all
Toonami.
come-
Oh,
No, you go.
I was just gonna say Toonami was my closest thing because there was a time where I did watch the JoJo dub live on TV.
JoJo was on TV.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
Toonami. So was Pop Team Epic, which was oh.
No, you go.
It was just the funniest thing because, like, on top of how unexpected it is of them, because I'm pretty sure Toonami typically airs shonen stuff. Like, It would air before JoJo's, so there was a time where you get to catch Pop Team Epic before it went to like the Dio's World arc in Part 3. So you basically got some laughs before it went into some serious shit with JoJo.
And there was a time, and there was once upon a time where I was able to pay attention to Tumblr of all places. Yes, I know it sounds, I know Tumblr, but bear with me. There's a story behind that. And every Friday when JoJo starts to go live, I would follow Tumblr just so I can actually pay attention to the viewers' reactions to it, and I would record and I would take snaps of those reactions and share them into the JoJo chat, and I would call these days Tumblr highlights, and I would call JoJo Nights Tumblr highlights because their reactions are pretty gold. However, ever since they put Part 6 into freaking Netflix, and they did not, and they also have the audacity to dump them all in one go instead of putting them into 1 week. That killed Tumblr Highlights Friday for me.
Yeah, that's another amount of blood that Netflix has on their hands.
Yep. Okay, let's see. I still post art on Tumblr occasion. I'm not in it for the followers. That's okay, though, Jamie. That's all right. Let's see. Yeah, Cartoon Network's best times is when they're being experimental with new shows. Danny, you know what? You got a point there, Danny Lockhart. I mean, the 2010s is pretty much a good time when Cartoon Network actually got their shit together and actually aired out good content. Steven Universe, regular show, even Finn and Jake and Bunch, It was a good time, but
Yeah, whenever people talk about Tumblr these days, they usually say 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
Yeah, and that's after they did like their own version of Order 66 on a certain type of material that I probably also cannot name drop on here.
Oh, either Carol. Nice of you to finally drop in. Wait a minute, that's not the color I'm grabbing. I don't know if I can get all of the... we're only going to be working on a few plushies today. Such as... Let me go look at my to-do list. Because I just made that today. And it's taking forever to load. Okay, Doom Guy is finally taken care of. Cal is currently what I'm working on right now. Carol, you're going to have to wait until next week for me to do your plushie. Since I just got your reference today. Hope you don't mind the wait. Whoa, 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 don't cancel that. I need that. I beat Lagambi and it took me 30 minutes to take it down. Was Lagambi...
30 minutes for one fight, Jesus.
Yeah, because there's a reason why Monster Hunter gave you 50 minutes to actually try to see if you can defeat the monster. Because some people, it will take, some people like to take the opportunity to explore the map, to gather materials and bunch. And some will just have a hard time trying to defeat monsters because they're, I'm a bet my left boob that some of them are, well, beginners,
Reminds me of there was this one PlayStation 2 Lord of the Rings game which basically it kind of was like a turn-based Final Fantasy Lord of the Rings game. I don't know how else to explain the system. Like you'd have turn-based combat with each character having unique attacks and abilities, but they weren't like main storyline characters. It was like an alternate storyline where you had to play a supposedly important part of the main story, despite never being mentioned in the lore once. So I think like the first character was like a Gondor warrior or ranger who had like the soul of what was it? Had an infected shard of like a cursed sword or something in him. There was an elfin mage who was basically your healer, a dwarf. I don't remember the specifics all too well, other than the final boss fight, which was against the Iroh of Sauron itself. I shit you not.
I'm sorry?
And yes, the final boss fight of that Lord of the Rings game was literally fighting the Eye of Sauron.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, me too. I don't remember it that well, but that part I remember distinctly. Mainly because our strategy at that point of the game, me and my brother basically, we each decked out one character each. I think I got the dwarf and he got the Gondor ranger or whatever it was. Was to essentially have the elf healer cast an ability which acts like a reincarnation. Whenever a character went below 0 health, in other words, they died, they would be instantly revived and it would be their turn. So we would just spam use this ability on all of us, and each time a character died, they would essentially use that. And if the healer needed to get some extra stuff, then we would just use the other characters to effectively keep her alive, and we'd cheese the whole fight that way.
Shit. I forgot to turn off the ruler on that one.
I should probably look that game up just for shits and giggles.
Watch out for falling shit.
Are you prepared for one of the more horrific abominations?
Should I?
It's a render, but I'll just post.
That's disgusting.
Okay, now let's see.
Kiwi chat.
I'll take a look at that a little later, Morris. It's just that I got plushies to smack and turn to.
Oh boy.
All right, that looks pretty
Alright,
good. Now I just need to go and work on the eye highlights and shading, and this plushie is off her merry way into the collection.
Alright, I'm gonna be back in a bit.
All right.
Sure.
See you.
I think you must have heard that, Double D, because Morris has a soundboard that he likes to abuse from every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's a little bit enamored with it at the moment.
I mean, I would too if I actually install pieces of meme fuckery sounds in it.
I guess that's fair.
Yep. Because I will not be afraid to spam putis every now and then. Okay,
You're braver than me then.
I need to actually get a soundboard of my own. Need a proper rim shot whenever I make puns in my streams. Hey, what the fuck? Oh, what? I just picked the wrong... I just made the wrong layer for shading. Okay, let's see. Turn that into 60%. Oh. I don't know how I'm gonna pull it off in terms of the, Oh, no, wait, never mind. It actually looks better when I use the same color brown for the eyes. Okay, that looks pretty good. Wait.
Indeed, it does.
Yeah.
Again, sorry for the delay, but you know, stream and lagging causes my my stream to become progressively more delayed.
Is it that bad?
Oh, I'm in South Africa, so yeah.
Oh. I think
Like at minimum, I have 250 ping from you at all times, even if the internet's behaving perfectly.
I think if I look kind of carefully with that brush she used, I think if I look carefully on that string she used for the chord of the horns, for a minute there I think I recognized that kind of brush. Maybe it's because I've been using Clip Studio Paint for years. I'm starting to recognize which brush comes, which brush is which. You know?
Yeah. Well, if you use something long enough, you start to recognize certain patterns.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how am I gonna handle Clip Studio Paint in 2 years from now. I wonder if I should still use the same thing. It's just that ever since I've heard of the new news that's been coming
Poorly
out,
handled. Oh.
I can't help but wonder if I should still stick with Clip Studio Paint or find a new program or something. Cause I came to love. Yes.
My 2 cents is that if the program, it still works even without the update stuff. I'd say continue using the base program without buying any of the subscription service stuff. I think that lets you use the program while still sending the middle finger to the subscription model.
Alright, another plushie is down and done.
I was gonna say, like I second what Sherm said just now. Oh.
No, you continue.
Yeah, I second what Sherm said just now, and if it ever comes to where you do feel like picking up a new program, one program I did hear about in light of all this news was Krita, or however you pronounce it. It's with a K. Krita.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, what Sherm said, and then there's what I put out there. I think I'll take this time to tap out now. I'll see you guys around.
Have a good one, Casey.
Alright.
You too. Take care, you guys.
Cheers.
Okay, that's one more plushie down for the collection. Okay.
Nice.
Version 1 of Clip Studio Paint really isn't going to be affected by the changes. Twitter just overblown the whole thing. Granted, the subscription model is kind of shit to say at least. Yeah. I mean,
I don't mind subscription models. I mind when paid models become subscription models.
also, Clip Studio Paint is well known to be, you know, to be one of those programs where it's a one-time purchase and you got your program and you got a program that could actually help you out with your craft. It's just,
Precisely.
yeah. Now
But
that
yeah,
we got
it feels like a stab in the back. Yeah, with the subscription model. I get that subscription models are a thing and they're important, but don't expect consumers to turn around to something that we could originally get with a single purchase and be happy about having to pay a subscription for it.
Now then, who should I turn next into my plushifications? Okay, I've done Joey, I've done Cal. I'm gonna try taking his next.
Oh.
Copy image. Our next person who's going to be plushified is another friend of mine, Mike's, who is also one of my party mates that I played with when it comes to, well, the iSpire Peak campaign.
Ooh.
This is not really his stand-in, but it's more like his other OC that he has in mind. However, but that's okay, because I have a feeling we're going to be having fun with this anyway. I think that's all also one thing I should really consider doing for Pals to Plushies. Turning my D&D friends, turning the D&D parties that I'm a part of into, well, marketable plushies.
I approve of this idea.
Let's see. Not gonna lie, it does feel like a betrayal of trust. Yeah, it does feel like that, Jay. It really does. And I feel very conflicted about this. From what I understand, the sub stuff is what you want from the updates past 2.0. It isn't exactly forced upon the user base. That may be true, but it still feels like a little bit of a scummy move.
Yeah, pretty much, especially when you eventually hit the classic problem of, oh, by the way, this new PC that you need because your old one is no longer compatible with new software technology, yeah, we won't allow you to use your old version. You know, the whole, like Microsoft did with Office. Now you can no longer one-time purchase Office as far as I'm aware.
When version 3 comes out, version 1 will no longer be supported apparently. The main thing that annoys me about this is the lack of backwards compatibility I've heard about. Wait, that's a thing?
And just one thing that I've heard, but I am not certain whether it's correct or not, is apparently that version 2 is going with a subscription model until the release of version 3, which will go back to full purchase. Like, is that correct? I don't follow particularly closely because, well, I don't use painting tools because I can't do art for shit.
I'm sure you will be with enough time and patience. I mean, look at Dom. His art is not perfect, but he still strives to improve, and I admire that.
Yeah, therein lies the problem. I'm not actively working on it. So, in Dom's case, obviously, they are actively working and improving on everything they do. Whereas, well, basically my interests have shifted away. So I now have to convince myself to make the time and put in the effort to improve. And unfortunately, in my line of work, in like automated software testing, every now and then, more often than not, I'll have to put that time into learning a new software technology instead. So hopefully one day I can convince myself to spend some time actually learning how to do that instead.
I'm sure you will be.
I hope so.
No snapdragons and there we go. I think another thing I really need to do somewhere down the line is, well, try to see if I can actually. But speaking of learning new stuff, there's this one program where I wish it actually doesn't require a subscription purchase, but I guess I'll have to settle with a new trial in order for me to finish the project that I have in mind. Let's see.
Oh yeah?
Mind you, I haven't gotten confirmation about it, but apparently if you make a piece, say, in 2.3, but your subs runs out before you finish it, you lose that piece until you resub again. Again, I'm not 100% sure about it.
What the hell?
Here's my 2 cents with art. Know your program is only half the battle. You need to also have the basic understanding of art in general in order to use the tools you need to get to a point where you can make some good art. Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that, though, Jamie. You got a point. In fact, you get a gold star for making that point.
Yeah, that is entirely fair. The problem is that I really don't know the basics because when I tried to in high school, I basically brute forced my way trying to do it, and as a result, I could never do proportionings right. I didn't do the basics of how to get all that stuff right.
I think I was kind of like that one too until I finally decided to, go into the library, go to the library or bookstores, and they have how to draw manga books that was a popular thing back in the day, mind you. And
Yeah,
I think they're still selling that to this day. And let's see. And I actually decided to look over that and try to read where I can and understand. And it's not perfect, but it does help me give me an idea to figure shit out, because Miki loves her craft and Miki does not like it when people don't take her seriously.
Oh, it's a little thing.
Let's see. I have a feeling this is gonna be the easiest plushies I've made so far. Then again, who knows? Okay.
It's another thing we're still busy with the drawings.
But if there's anything I really do have a weakness in drawing. Also, to take a break from the Clip Studio Paint stuff, thank you again for the plush. It came out absolutely adorable. You're very welcome, Cal. In fact, I'm gonna I'll be rendering that plush by the time I'm done with the stream, and I'll send it to you into the Enter the Dungeon chat. Let's see. What was I actually talking about again? Shit, I forgot. Okay, let's try designing a beanie. That is angled, But speaking of learning new stuff, so has anyone ever heard about the 1D&D that's been going on, the news about 1D&D that's been going on so far? What are you guys' thoughts and opinions about it?
So far, I do feel a lot like, from my perspective, a lot of people are overreacting, like, oh, D&D 5e is dead, or oh no, they've ruined the future of D&D. Like, I'm fairly certain there's still people playing on D&D 3.5. There's nothing stopping you from using the old rule set and or homebrewing stuff for it. Like, chill, people.
For those who don't know, it's Danny Lockhart. 1D&D is kind of like another edition of D&D that's coming out, which is, some people call it the sort of 6th edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and but they're calling it D&D 1 for the official material sake, or 1D&D if you will. And let's see. And so far, some people say that it's a bit promising. Some people are feeling lukewarm on some areas. Melissa Tiefling, I managed to hop into her stream earlier ago, and even she also expresses her doubts as well as her interest on certain areas of it.
So my understanding is that this is almost like a prototype stage before they finalize something into a new edition.
I think so.
And I think what most people are memeing about is mostly the fact that they're trying to get this idea of a unified single D&D system, which is personally something I'm not particularly on board with, because I think having multiple systems allows for a variety of choice that people want. Like, I get that uniformity is more efficient, but we're not here to be efficient in D&D. We're here to be creative.
Indeed. I mean, Steve and I managed to watch a video about someone's sort of thoughts and opinions about the races that will be available in D&D 1, and well, let's just say that they kind of made some changes when it comes to the stats that go with the races that you picked. Like you know how you know how races come with their own stat bonus. Like elves have their plus to the charisma and all that junk. That's no longer implemented. In fact, that you can only get stat bonuses from the history that you picked. Yeah.
Yeah, so in a way, it almost feels like they are trying to get rid of the racial law in favor of the character history, which I don't mind in so much, but I definitely think that having rich lore for the various races is a big part of many what's the word? Fictional, not fictional. Fantasy. That's the word. Fantasy settings.
Indeed. I can't help
Yeah,
but feel a little bit of concern for that because, well, that's kind of what made the races work.
To an extent, yes. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying that I would still enjoy using a system where racial bonuses are a thing and where there is like pre-existing racial law. Suffice to say, playing something like Tiefling law in particular seems to have changed significantly from being outcasts in 5e to being socially accepted due to basically several years of integration as well as significant individuals' contribution to the good of society in general.
If airbolts don't come back for a 1D&D, I am fucking going to riot. I'm sorry, but that's what Miki. That says Miki, you know. You can't.
Well, yeah, I can't say I blame you. Well, the one thing I was interested in was how they handled inter-species characters. So they ditched the concept of having specific classes for like half elves or half etc's, and instead they introduced like a system whereby you could choose the racial bonus from one of the parent races and then customize your appearance as you see fit.
Let's see. Was trying to find out where Paralarval extract, and it can only be found by high rank areas in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Huh. That's a thing? Interesting. I never played the older generations of Monster Hunter. I got into it thanks to Steve when he wants me to play Monster Hunter World with him. But hey, it worked. I mean, Steve went up and beyond for that by gifting me an Xbox One to also where I can also play Monster Hunter World. But yeah, in that Xbox One version, I was able to make a D&D Monster Hunter variant of Dione. Man, this guy looks angry. You know how I said that you know how I said that when I made Gonzo's plushie, it looks like an NFT? This one looks like an angry NFT. Oh god, Mike's gonna fucking hate me when he hears that. Okay, something like that.
But then yeah, it'll be interesting to see what changes occur to the prototype 1 D&D and what will either be kept or dropped.
I just want fear books to come back.
I mean, even if they don't make it into the official lore, which I suspect they probably would.
But
I mean, we do talk about it. We do talk about NFTs. It's just we say no fucking thanks.
Yep.
Oh shit, my dick.
What the actual fuck, Morris?
Just collection of sounds that I've got.
Okay. It's a little hard for
But
me
yeah.
to get which bit is from, but I'm gonna see where I can actually I'm gonna pull stuff out of my butt and make it work. It's just that this artist has used a variety number of brushes in order to make this work.
And getting the base color out of the shading might be difficult with the various changes. Use the shading.
It's why it's kind of important for those who do digital art, that if you want to make a character reference sheet, it's important to make a color palette swatch of the character in question, but also arrange them in a way that you can actually identify which color goes to which. Okay. Now then, I think it's time for me to do some line art coloring. I'm gonna have to use a different color than the one that's in this picture here, because it's a little hard for me to, well, put it together. I think if there's any game I really want to give it a try to play again, it's Pathfinder.
Oh, like the first or the second edition?
Yes.
I know the second edition's out, and the only Pathfinder I've played has been one of the games, Kingmaker.
It's Runia, aka Ruby, was the one who introduced me into Pathfinder when we were still dating, and it was there where I was able to make my first ever cleric, and I was still very new to the table, so I don't know much of table. I don't know much of table etiquette. Let alone I was stupidly shy, mind you. But I still have very fond memories when it comes to, well, playing Pathfinder on itself, despite that it only lasted about a few sessions before I ended up dying at midway. Let's see.
Oof.
I got a shit ton of power heavy and speed jelly to feed my kinsects. I hope you've been feeding Mochi Miko. Well, in RP wise, I could definitely see Nessa would occasionally treat and feed Mochi from time to time. Let's see. Now it's time for me to make the shading. This is the easiest plush I've ever made for this segment. Well, easiest so far. Let's apply. I think I hear bells. I think my cat might be outside. Let me take a brief moment. Oh, it's just you, Phoebe. Okay, never mind. Earlier this morning, I managed to get myself a rare sight of all the 3 cats all gathered together into the room that Steve and I are currently staying at, and they are and they are actually sleeping there, mind you, and it was stupidly cute. However, I think I made a little bit of a bit of a mistake last night.
How so?
Well, let me try to explain. Last night, yesterday as well as last night, I was really happy that that Radagast managed to show up and come back. And Radagast is one of the porch kittens that was very lovable to humans, as well as he's very needy to people, because he was the runt in the litter, and well, that Steve's mom and her husband had to help treat him back up so he can actually catch up with his siblings. And last night, well, I decided to actually thought it would be a nice idea to bring Radagast inside the room so he can actually sleep with us. It's just that I then also remembered that Cole was actually there with us in that room, and by the time he was inside, he was playing with Radagast for an hour or two or something when I was trying to fall asleep. But Radagast managed to actually find a spot that's between me and Steve so he can actually fall asleep into. Alright, and then we're now done with Mike's plushie. Alright, let's go and save, and now let's go find another person we can plushify.
Chunky ass meat sound effect.
Okie dokie Loki. What is the next person in my list who's gonna be smacked upside of the head with a plush bat?
Booyah.
I think it's you. I am gonna use you. Okay, copy image. Our next person to be plushified, it's a little bit unorthodox, but it's not my design. We are gonna take Sam Overlord's plushie, but he actually gave me the best graces to actually use. He actually told me to use the base black skin on this on his plushie instead of in his clothes. So at least I'm happy with that.
I think I'm gonna be back again.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh,
Duplicate. Doors open. Okay, you guys. Look, I know you mean well, but I need to keep this door closed. I like my privacy, even though it's just me in the house just now. For now.
yeah. If there is one thing that cats are not particularly happy about, it's closed doors.
I'm gonna admit, Sam has the rawest design when it comes to his characters, but I'll see what I can pull off. Not much though, Jamie. We're now gonna be tackling the fourth plushie to be to turn into, and it's Sam Overlords, and I'm gonna do his this variant of him, arm included. It's just that, well, I don't know how I'm gonna make this work, but heaven knows I'm gonna give it a try. Okay. I mean, I managed to pull off good old HK's plushie. I'll see if I can pull off this one too. I'm also thinking of doing a special edition when it comes to Pals to Plushies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. One that is that one where I get to finally take a leaf out of Doc's book and select only 6 VTubers and turn them into marketable plushies. Just 6.
Sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Sam. I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off, but heaven knows I'm trying.
Heaven knows.
Okay, I'm gonna need I need to open up Discord so I can actually take a look on the references. Okay. Okay, I think I may have an idea. And going back to the previous topic, these won't be just any other VTubers that are willy-nilly. These are VTubers that I personally like and are currently following in Twitter. As much as I really want to go the whole 9 yards and draw every single VTuber, Doc already fulfilled that niche, and I don't want to copy his. homework too much. Just 6 VTubers I personally like is enough for me. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna. Okay. I would box them. Also, would you guys believe me if I say that I found a TF2 VTuber?
Sorry, what? A TF2 VTuber?
Yes. Somebody actually made a there's somebody out there in the world of VTubers who's a TF2 VTuber.
That's surprising.
Yeah. And he goes by the moniker Utineer.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
Okay. Now then. I'm gonna have to turn on the brightness for this so I can... Oh. Okay. Alright, where to start? It's not just... It's the muscle definition that I'm actually trying to get right. Like, they VTube and play on TF2, or they use a TF2 character as their avatar. They use the latter. Somebody managed to find a way to turn a TF2 character as their avatar.
Oh, that's pretty neat, actually.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can find them. I think I have that. I managed to save them I think I managed to retweet it. Okay. Now, let's see. It should be somewhere right around here. No, that's a bit from El Toro's videos. Okay. I think I'm getting closer or something. No. If it's not in my retweets, I may have to okay, I think it's in my likes. Oh no, I just remember how big that likes are. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go and here. And here we go. I'll just drop it here into the chat. I'll also drop it here into the PPIs, into the TV chat, so you guys can actually get to see this. This is the guy I've been talking about.
Let me see. Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh.
I have actually seen him in my Twitter timeline.
I don't know how I'm gonna pull. I don't know how I'm gonna pull muscles off in a plushie, but I'll see what I can do from here.
Back.
Oh, someone ripped.
What?
Did someone rip?
I'm good.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What do you mean, rip is in this?
Somebody managed to find a way to record that, and it kind of scares me.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
This is actually gonna be the easiest, this is gonna be somewhat the easiest plushie I can ever actually pull off. I don't know. Alright, time to revert back to your colors. Now then. Exposed bones, scars, burns, scar, muscle, okay. Sam, I don't know what you're pulling off here, but I'll see what I can do. Yes, that is a real thing. It actually exists. There's somebody who out there actually decided to turn turn TF2 avatar into a VTuber avatar. And how should I put this? How should I word this? Discovering Utineer is kind of like finding a It's kind of like how should I word this properly? It's like you're watching over a ranch and there's full of lots of like a deer ranch, if you will, and there's lots of deer, as in VTubers themselves, as grazing about. And one day you notice one of these is not like the other, and that said VTuber is a unicorn of all people, and that's Utineer. That's how it feels when it comes to discovering the dude himself. I mean, it's like I found a unicorn out of all of these VTubers. But it was actually a good find of mine, and I intend to follow him right on the spot. Okay, now then, how am I gonna design these scars? I can already hear the Dark Knight references that's going about in this. Okay, Morris. Okay. Ow. That hurt. Okay, I may have to use a design pencil for this. Now
What's going on?
Huh?
I don't know what's going on in this photo, but in this render, but it seems a bit what the actual places it's showing, it seems like it would be rather relaxing, actually.
Okay.
That does, and
I may have to lower the brush size. It's like trying to play Scar Bingo or some shit when it comes to designing this guy.
oof.
But that's okay. I could figure something out on my butt. looking at this guy, I can't help but think of Broly when it comes to how angry and burly he looks. Am I wrong?
Honestly, I more get Venom vibes off of him. Like the scars, I can see what you mean about Burley, but yeah, the teeth make me think Venom.
It's like Broly and Venom kind of are kind of fused together. Oh my god, that's actually one thing I did not expect, and now I can't get that image off my head.
Venom Broly. That's an interesting concept.
I now seriously want to draw that, or find somebody who can draw that. I don't know.
Or at the very least, old school Broly. Not so much new Broly. Admittedly, the original Broly was a badass, at least in the first film, and then the other two films happened.
I actually like the rendition of how Team 4 Star pulled off when it comes to Broly. You can't just go all out. You just gotta fight your way small. You have to start small and then work your way up. I am started small. Oh, well, good for you. Holy shit. I need to watch that again after the stream. There's no way we're missing masochism like this. Dad, what's masochism? Ask your mother. Okay. Yes, Broly and Venom combined. That actually would sound awesome. Now let's see. I think this looks pretty okay as is. I'm sure Sam wouldn't mind the minimalism. Now then, it's time for me to work on the shading. But dude, this really does look like the most menacing plushes that I've ever designed so far with this. Too bad Team 4 Star won't be doing any of the other movies. They had the field day with the Second Coming. I mean, yeah, had it not been the threat of copyright hanging over their heads, I would definitely love to see their rendition how they tackled the Boo arc. Cause when I was growing up in the Philippines, my knowledge to Dragon Ball goes as far as Dragon Ball GT. No, despite how, well, questionable that arc is. But I actually did got to see the Boo arc, and really, that arc really did got me gripping into the edge of my seat. Let's see. Okay, I think Sam's is pretty much done. Easy enough to make, but yeah. I've made the angriest looking plush I've ever seen. I'm sure Sam will actually have a field day with this.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Saving. And let's put that into a folder. Alright, now then, let me look into my to-do list. I got Joey, I got Sam, Mike, Cal. Alright, I need to do I need to do his now. Okay. There we go. Copy image. Our next person who's going to be plushified is one of my friends, Gosei Dai Shogun. And he asked me to turn this into a plushie, which I have a feeling I can pull this off. Seems pretty enough. I mean, pretty easy enough. Alright, now then. Let's turn the... Oh, no, not that. The Boo arc was my introduction to Dragon Ball. Well...
Get that wiggler booty.
No, not that. Not that, Morris. I mean, like, the Majin Buu arc, as you will. But who'd ever thought that arc was the one where they introduced their own variant of magical beings? I'll bet they're from different planets and much, but that's the arc where I had a little bit of trouble wrapping my head around. But let's see. The first time that introduced me into Dragon Ball, what Dragon Ball Z was the very first Dragon Ball anime itself, where Goku was still a kid. And let's see, it's around when King Piccolo arc. That's the one that introduced me into Dragon Ball. And it was during the time when Goku actually defeated King Piccolo by going through the said guy, only for King Piccolo to eject an egg. That's where Piccolo Jr. comes out of.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that one too?
I didn't actually get to see the full Dragon Ball anime when we started straight with Z.
That's what. Well, that's where I started off. I mean, some people would suggest going straight to Dragon Ball Z, but I suggest for those who are getting into Dragon Ball, have to go all the way back into Dragon Ball itself.
It certainly explains a lot of the context behind Goku.
Mm-hmm.
A kid who was so removed from society that he didn't even have a concept of gender in his head when he first met Bulma.
Oh yeah. It's pretty hilarious on its own.
In the way that Japanese humor is.
And I also
A lot of the old Japanese humor was not safe for work.
Yep. And I also got to see Chi-Chi for the first time too by the time they go for the tournament arc, and I was like, ooh! Uh-oh. But it was then that they introduced in the flashback do I actually get it, and like, oh, so that's why. I still remember that one filler episode where Goku was trying to do a thing, and Chi-Chi was actually staying behind this lady's place where they had to gather a couple of items that are necessary for for him and Chi-Chi to actually get married, and that is where the series Dragon Ball kind of ended, like where Chi-Chi and Goku's wedding. It wasn't until Dragon Ball Z that we actually get through the time skip, and that's where it got me a little bit more into Dragon Ball on itself.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the first part of Dragon Ball is essentially just a Japanese retelling of Sun Wukong, in a way. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z starts when, obviously, Goku and Chi-Chi now have a kid. And then all the interplanetary stuff starts happening.
When Raditz finally came in through the door, and, well, Raditz's introduction to the series and how he got into the series pretty much changed Dragon Ball for the better, for worse, but I'd say for the awesome or something. I don't know. If you can actually word it that way.
To an extent, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the whole thing of introducing Raditz into it was, oh, Goku is the toughest guy on Earth. Newsflash, Earthlings are weak. And then Goku proceeds to get the ever-living daylights kicked out of him.
I think Raditz is pretty much the catalyst that that changed Dragon Ball for sure.
I mean, he was essentially just a plot device to get to, well, A, to tease Gohan's potential, and B, to tease the coming of Nappa and Vegeta.
Let's see. Are you familiar with Masako X's channel, Mikoto? He does a ton of stuff of what if scenarios, including what if Raditz turned good. He really gave Raditz a second chance at life. Really? I need to take a look at that. If I remember correctly, there's this one what if video that I stumbled across on YouTube the other day of what if it was Broly who actually got into Earth instead of Kakarot. Goku, and I actually like that one. I do.
I always approach what if Dragon Ball stuff with a very fine pinch of salt.
What? What makes you say that?
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean, mainly it's the stuff that Dragon Ball Z has a lot of alternate timeline stuff already, so I'm always very cautious about the concept. But there's also the fact that I am slightly embittered seeing mostly these days Dragon Ball spoiler channels, stuff like, oh my god, there's a new transformation coming.
Do you
and
know?
half the time it's wrong.
I mean, that's kind of basically how I am when Sis kind of told me the news that Frieza now has a new form in the Super's manga where he goes.
I got that same spoiler from YouTube as well.
I mean, the only thing that comes to mind when I saw that Frieza's new form is now a legit thing is this segment, you know? I'm also going to share it too into the chat as well as into the TV chat itself. Here we go. So you guys get to actually wait a minute. No, that's not how that's not how it works. Okay. My bad. I am so sorry. Oh shit. Do not pay attention. How do I delete that? How do I delete that shit? I am so sorry. Oh god.
It's fine. Nobody outside the Discord should be able to access it.
No, but
anyway.
I accidentally post that link too in the Twitch, and that does not
like
work.
I said, shouldn't be able to access it without access to the actual Discord.
I still feel like a dunce.
You should be able to delete it, so.
I don't know how though. Shit.
Agreed.
Let's just ignore that. Just ignore that chat, okay? Okay. Okay. There we go. Here we go. Here's the actual link itself. Here's the actual link itself. Please do not pay attention to that link chat, okay? This is the actual link itself that I wanted to share. My reaction when it comes to hearing Frieza's new form that happened into the manga itself. And I'll also post it here into the TPI TV chat.
Okay, that is funny.
Life Arrow is actually pretty fun. Steve and I discovered Life. Steve was the one who discovered Life Arrow, and then he shared some of the videos to me. And well, it kind of has become now part of my things to watch for. You know.
Yeah, I mean, my only, I don't know, criticism of Frieza also still being a threat in the universe, because he definitely makes a good villain for Super, but I would say that I feel like the current downfall of Dragon Ball during Super is that currently everybody just seems to be getting new forms with color palettes, and that seems to be the formula of how people fight is. Find a stronger opponent, get the crap beaten out of you, learn either a new form or a new technique, beat the crap out of new opponents. Admittedly, there's obviously still an element of that in Z, but now it just seems even more blatant.
Well,
I'm not sure if you've seen the spoilers out of the Dragon Ball superhero movie.
I haven't. And I'm actually interested in watching Dragon Ball Superhero movie.
Alright, well, I won't spoil the specifics, but suffice this needs to say is that it seems like the new forms of both Frieza and Vegeta from the manga both are symptoms of the same problem. It's like, oh look, there's yet another new color palette form. I know that's sort of part and parcel of Dragon Ball, but I guess maybe my exposure to different animes has made me think of maybe there's a better way of doing it than just point blank toughness. You know, it almost feels like it should be, especially compared to like the first Super Saiyan transformation, it should feel like a struggle that's earned rather than just another color palette change to up the power level.
Okay, now that we're done with that, it's time for coloring. Okay. Speaking of Dragon Ball movies, I think there's a few movies that I really need to watch again, and one of them is the Slug movie, because that's kind of like one of the few Dragon Ball movies that I grew up watching too. And but I really wanted like in a very good dub or sub of the Slug movie, because well, the first time I watched that said movie, it was dubbed horrendously. Like,
Which language? English?
English. Like, Krillin has a voice that is so cacophonically high pitched. Goku's voice sounds like he had one too many benders. Slug sounds okay, if not stupidly gravelly, that you can't really comprehend it. So yeah, I really need to I'm actually, which makes me very happy that which made me very happy when Team 4-Star actually went as far to actually dub that movie and made it pretty good for me. The biggest reason a lot of new forms for each character is going forward is that the goal of Toei is to sell toys. They're trying to sell toys to get people hyped.
Oh, yeah. I guess that is true. The merchandise is the big seller. I mean, even if it's not like a card-specific anime like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess that's fair.
There are Digimon movies I want to watch again. One is being The Revenge of Diaboromon. Is it the one where they actually had to, is it the one where Tai and Izzy had to go through, watch their Digimon in the internet and fight against this one Digimon that's on the internet? Or am I mistaken? Because I'm not that very knowledgeable when it comes to Digimon.
I think also when it comes to the forms, I think part of the reason why my attitude is somewhat changed has been my exposure to the My Hero Academia anime and how they approach the main character's development of superpowers and how hard he has to actually commit to his participation in order to even stand a chance against pretty much the cream of the crop.
Huh.
That's as much as I can say about My Hero Academia Part 1 without spoilers.
I've yet to actually watch My Hero Academia in its fullest. I tried to, but I seem to I seem to forget where I left off, and I kind of stopped trying to read more. And I feel kind of bummed and guilty now that I talked about it.
Well, I mean, you said you read the manga, right?
The first few beginning chapters of the manga.
Well, it sounds like a good excuse as any to watch the sub of the anime. Maybe the animated version will catch your fancy more.
Okay, let's try making the hot rod flames that are inside. Okay, and I think that looks okay, but that orange could actually be a little bit darker, if you will. Alright, now let's go and shade. Oh! I almost forgot his face. I almost forgot his fingers. There we go. Shading time. Alright, and is it bad enough for me to say, speaking of Digimon, I actually remembered watching the English horrendous dub of the Digimon movie itself. The one where where it says it's one big movie, but they're actually 3 different OVAs that are spliced together, and they call that a movie. And the one thing that I remember very vividly about that is the second segment of the one. I mean, if there's anything I really like about that Frankenstein of a Digimon movie, it's the one where they actually had to. It's the second segment of the where Ty and Izzy had to stop a Digimon that is on the internet before it goes wreaking havoc, and it's because of that kind of premise. The director who is responsible for that segment of the who's responsible for that OVA, well, he ended up taking that plot and turning that into its own original movie, and thus Summer Wars was a thing. And I really wanted to watch Summer Wars ever since I heard that it's actually pretty okay. It's pretty good. It's like the Digimon second OVA, but it's much more of its own original flair. There we go. Oh, wait. There we go. Alright. Tommy's is finished. Okay,
Good.
Go say that. No. Go say the Shogun. Alright. So far, we have done Doom Guys. We've done Cal's, Mike's, Sam's, Tommy's, and now we're done for one more plushie of the day. Hold on, I need some more water. It's important to hydrate. Huh. Rain's over. And we're gonna go for something a little unorthodox for this one. Because today is a redemption round, if you will.
Oh.
Yep. We are going to fix up Catman's plushie. Because I learned a few days ago that this is not his actual plushie for his character design. And
Oh dear.
And he actually gave me the reference, and I felt compelled to actually do something about it and fix it. Alright.
Well, that's commendable, so.
Me. And this is the reference he asked me to fix. Showtime. Okay. The bitch expression is still going to stay the same, but everything else is going to be tweaked. I have a feeling, but I have a feeling by the time this is over, Catman is also going to like this. He also said that
I suspect he will.
he also said that he's also willing to advertise this one, if you will. Yes, that's his VTuber model. As interesting as it sounds, but I'm not gonna judge. It's his model. He does it. If this makes him happy, then that's okay. Okay. Did anyone see the reboot of the OG Digimon Adventure? I haven't. Is it pretty good?
Nor have I.
That's what Danny Lockhart asked. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna make this work, but I think those are like speakers or something on his ears. I have a ton of questions too, but this is his VTuber model. This is Catman's VTuber model that I insist on fixing for him, you know? And you know what? That's fine by me. This is think of it as a redemption round in terms of getting the model right. I mean, I wouldn't mind making plushies that are based on, well, scantily clad VTuber models, because this is kind of like a rated 16 level server, or a server, if not Twitch channel, and everyone should actually be free to choose whatever they want for their VTuber designs. Catman hers themselves included. I mean, I wouldn't mind if I have to make a plushie of Exoria, if I will, you know? And she's known to have she's known to be one of the bustiest VTuber models that I've ever got to know. Let's see. From what I saw in the pilot episode, it's going to be good. They're even planning to reboot Adventure 2. Nice. Okay. I think I might need to make a separate template when it comes to designing female plushies. Because this base plushie is fine enough to work when it comes to guys, but I'm starting to see a bit of a chink, and that is in my list of plans to do. That I really should start considering drawing a template for female plushies, because as versatile as my current plushie template is, well, it can only go so far, and trying to do female plushies with the one I have is challenging. Okay. Alright, I gotta make puffy sleeves. But so far it's coming together. Piece by piece. We reached the Christmas song. We reached the soundtrack from the where it's focused on the Christmas town, but I don't want that. It's not in season yet. Let's see. No. Yes. In my opinion, bust size is not necessary as an indicator of one's character or content rating. Sometimes one can't help how big their chest or hip size are. It's how they market it as what makes the difference. Huh. I guess you do have a point there, Jake. Oh. Who's back? I think that's Kyle's. I think Kyle's back. Okay. Alright, now let's go and try fixing up those colors. Did I say something weird? I feel something weird. No, you haven't said something. You haven't said anything weird. It's just that I'm just taking what you said into consideration and trying to, you know, ponder my brain on those VTuber girls that I saw who did their thing. What the hell? What the hell? Oh,
Nothing
right.
wrong.
Let's just say I'm trying to fixing up a segment that requires me to fix the mask. That's all.
All right.
I'm all right. This will look messy right now, but trust me, I will easily fix this. I can fix this. I've done this before. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, it's just Kyle who came back. Okay. Now let's see. Chest, legs, hands, and boof. Okay, what else am I missing out here? Sleeves. I really hope that he likes this. This is a redemption round.
Certainly will.
This is a redemption round and trying to get this plushie to be right. Shirt. Okay. Okay. Tights. Oh right, I forgot the shoes. What the hell? Ah! That's a little too big. There we go. Ah, what the? There we go. Oh, no, 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 no. Almost done fucked up.
That's not good.
Don't worry. This can be easily fixed.
Alright. As long as the thing's wrong.
There we go. Glad I took an interest in the insect glaive. It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad. I'm really glad you did like the insect glaive, Danny Lockhart.
Must admit the insect glaive looks like a very interesting weapon from an outside perspective as well. It's a very flashy fighting style, just with the glaive in and of itself, but I'm also partial to flashy fighting styles in general, so I'm thinking that either the insect glaives or the small knives would probably be up my alley.
It's worth a try.
Stab, stab, stab.
Oh shit, my
What
dick.
the fuck? What the fuck? I swear, if I had my own soundboard, I would just smack you right in the head for that. Okay, time to make some tweaks. We're almost done with this, chat. We're almost done with this,
One of
and
these
then
days you might end up giving chat the soundboard, although that might be a grievous mistake.
that might be a grievous mistake, and I'm actually worried for that day. She looks so angry.
I wouldn't call that anger so much as resting cat face.
I mean, I did say like what I said. I meant what I said when back into the day we did what the fuck? The day we did Catman's plushie back in the early days. Like, you can't please a cat the same way you can with a dog, since cats are a law above themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Although, given that this is a cat girl model, it did remind me that I need to do some eyelashes. She looks so angry. There we go. Let's see, lip line will be, This one? Alright. No. Let's make it brighter so that way it's still shows up. He said that by the time I'm done with this plushie model, he said he's willing to advertise this.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. That way, who knows? Maybe I can get some potential customers. Because I could really, I could really earn some more.
Yeah.
She's so angry. She's... Let's also see if we can give her a little bit of eyeshadow to soften up that face a little bit. I don't know. Oh. Okay. This is fine. This is...
What?
Okay. A little bit of that. A little bit of this. Ah! What the fuck? What was that? Okay. Oh, no, that's the multiply. That's the shading. Otherwise, Miki will be very upset if I deleted that. Okay. Should I... if you want to soften up her face, maybe make some of the... make some bigger pupils will do the trick. Like make the eyes a little bit bigger? I guess I could give it a shot. It's worth a try. But she still has that resting bitch face. But I could give it a try. Let's give that a shot. The pupils, the orange parts. These little bits here. Make it bigger, you say? Okay, I guess that looks a little bit better. Yeah, I guess that looks a little bit better.
Very well done. Congratulations.
Morris!
Hey. Very least it's a congratulatory.
Dude!
Yeah. They're gonna figure out the settings.
Maybe I could try... I can be easily frightened if people knows... Am I easy to tease or something?
I wouldn't say that.
Maybe you have your speakers up pretty high.
No, that sound bit was unusually loud even for your sound bites.
Yes, that does feel like a jump scare.
Still getting used to this, but
I have a feeling that you guys are gonna relish that if I ever play horror games, aren't you? Especially given that we're gonna be. I have been thinking about giving October a try where I play horror games in that month or something. Should I?
Worth considering at the very least.
I mean, it would be fun. Okay. I sure hope Catman actually likes this model. Otherwise, I'm gonna be an upset Mickey.
I'm certain it will be alright.
Okay. Oh, it's my favorite piece of the soundtrack! Okay. I feel a little bit motivated just hearing just having my favorite soundtrack come up. Okay. There we go. Let's go and actually paint those into the red color of the shoes. There we go. All right. We have finally finished Catman's model.
Yay.
Okay, so let's try to recap. And I'm turning that off. We had finished Doom Guys. No, this is not the Pokemon soundtrack. This is a soundtrack from an MMO I played back in the day, and I'm stupidly attached to it to this day, called Ragnarok Online.
I used to play that a little bit.
Let's see. We finally finished Doom Guys. We finally finished Cal's. We did Mike's, Sam's, Gosai's, and we did oh, right, shading. Because I am a dunce if I turn that off. And we finally finished Catman's. Alright, that's all 6 plushies. Alright. I guess I'm gonna call it here for now. We did we've been streaming for 2 hours and almost 30. Alright, there's gotta be a way for me to actually okay, sure. I'll get back to that in a moment. Let's see. So, let's see, how... I wonder how do I rate somebody? I wish there was a way I could actually rate somebody. Yeah, they're gonna get back into Monsters Generations Ultimate. Okay. That's nice. Oh, okay. Thanks, Caro. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it here, you guys, since I have done plenty. And I'm gonna end the stream about here, so let's see. Doc is currently on right now, and he's pretty much doing his own things. So we're gonna most likely call it here, and I don't know if this is gonna work, but I think I don't know if this is gonna work, but I how about we try to raid somebody today or something? We can try go. I'm gonna send you on to the Dr. Crafty's stream, and if you want, and if you want to send a message, say the innkeeper sent us here. Okay, I'm gonna close up shop, but thank you all for actually joining in for my stream today, and I'll see you guys next time. All right. Most likely tomorrow. I'm not gonna do Monster Hunter Rise. I'm actually gonna be doing some home renovations on that day. I'm most likely gonna make it up by Friday, if not also Saturday. Who knows? But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. All right. Catch y'all later.
Alrighty.
Until
Bye-bye.
next time.